also a brownie, huh?
Brownie. You have your sugar package.
My sugar package here, so I can always...
Perfect.
Nice. Well, where are we?
Candlelight.
Where the fuck are we, man?
We are at my home. In the living room, the kitchen.
In Berkeley and Scott.
Berkeley and Scott. And we just had a dinner.
Sounds like a fashion brand.
Berkeley and Scott.
Burkle and Scott.
No, just had dinner. Different than normal. Because normally we record on Wednesdays through a screen. And we had this meeting scheduled. Well, meeting. This dinner scheduled.
A get-together.
A get-together. As we do. We were talking about it before. Like, how long has it been? Last time we had dinner.
A year, 1.5 years, something.
No, at your place.
Oh, that was at mine,
No,
but
that
we
was
meant
this
here.
year. Yeah.
But this year we were
Here?
like a half year.
I thought it was this year. Well, there was one summer night.
It was one summer night.
Or was it just you here?
No,
I know
no,
what
it
you
was-
did last summer.
But it was last year. Last year summer, and then this summer we were at my house.
Yeah, I meant this summer. But the
The
evening here, like the summer evening, was last year.
yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, it's been a while
It's
since
been a
we
while.
were here.
We don't speak often without screens.
In real life.
Oh yeah, you've grown.
I've grown.
Yeah,
Became a bit
not hair, but
No, I actually went to the hairdresser
oh yeah,
this week. Wouldn't say.
nice.
I go next week, right before ADE.
ADE.
Always important.
Is that something you consciously think of when you go to the hairdresser?
Well, I always go at a friend of mine. His barbershop is called Handsome by Jelle.
And some?
Handsome, yeah. Dus
Handsome
without,
or like the ants?
handsome. So like handsome, but without the H.
Mm.
And then I said to him, "Oh yeah, I also need to go maybe right before ADE." And then, consciously I do it.
Because I
I just want to
always-
make some commercial. He may sponsor us someday.
Can I take another brownie?
take.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you are right. There is some sort of
Speculate.
speculation herbs. What's speculation?
I don't know.
Cinnamon? No, that's
Speechless.
speechless. No, you're right.
Mm.
Something in there. We have another one. So
If you're still listening, this is not going to be the best podcast
yeah,
ever, or
Probably
maybe
not.
it will.
let's stop. Boom.
Just lower my mic.
Everybody's sound set
All
just
this hardware. All this hardware.
No, let's talk about ADE next week because it's around the corner.
Well, let's talk about it now, man. You
Yeah?
said let's talk about ADE next week. Let's talk about it now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But how do you how do you think about it? As in, is it still that much that big of an event, or is it something that is not that important?
I think as an artist, it might be not as interesting for me than it was years ago. But I think it's to do with the fact that it's very fun to see some fans and to see people you see all around the world in your own hometown. But I don't know if it adds much value to me to be there, if that makes sense.
What used to be the value?
That's what I wonder lately. What I think is valuable is for promoters to meet with bookers and to also meet with artists. But I think strengthening your connections maybe. But I don't know if it adds that much that it has to be that week.
We were talking about networking. I mean, I think in the points of our careers, it can still help. It's nice to hang with the people you know, drink a few beers, bond a little bit. The thing is, though, there's not so many artists. There are a lot of artists there, but most of them have their own party, and it kind of before 10 years ago, we would like go from club to club a lot, but that just kind of vanished, that vibe.
Yeah, visiting the parties.
Yeah, but I can also imagine we've been doing this for such a long time. We know how to reach one another. we all know each other, but for networking to meet like-minded people like yourself that have a great passion for music and EDM, still a great way. And I mean, there's a bunch of parties, good parties, in close proximity. That's pretty cool and unique.
It's hard to give people the amount of time they sometimes need, though.
Yeah, it's
I
crazy.
see artists that I see. I have more times with them at festivals backstage than I have at ADE because you're just hopping from place to place.
Maybe, yeah.
But I also wonder about what we talked about earlier. Like maybe it's because we're getting a bit older, as in maybe the club hopping still is a thing. It's just not for us anymore.
I don't know what you are talking about. No.
No.
I don't have that feeling at all.
No, but like we used to go to every party, every club, like the full, let's say 5 days of ADE was scheduled.
Well, it's not I mean, the novelty just wore off.
I think,
yeah. It's not so. I think we were also 10 years ago. It was newer for everybody in the scene, and it was just a great way to have a party week. And I mean, that just ended at some point.
Yeah, I used to really see it as a showcase, and not so much anymore. I guess that's what I also tried to say before.
Yeah.
I don't know how much of a showcase you can call it. Also, if you look at the venues, they're always very small. Very fun, though. Very, like, if you play at a venue of 300 or 200 people, that's so much fun. And they're usually the most dedicated fans. So, but it's not so much a showcase of what my average show looks like. And I think that's... And also the sets are very short. So maybe in that sense, it's just... it's different.
We got a lot of... well, not necessarily backlash, but the post about free DJ gigs at ADE did a lot of damage in some kind of way. Not necessarily damage, but it woke up a lot of people to talk about it, because not everyone agreed with the fact that most people play for free at ADE. But as you said, like I still say it's mostly promotional for most artists, and it's like a showcase.
The budgets are just not there.
There is no budget. It's a 300 party place, you know.
Yeah.
Like what's being made there? Maybe $1,000.
And don't forget, I mean, most of the venues aren't like real dance. They're not equipped for most of the things. So you have to bring in the whole production, all that you want to do. I mean, people have to be on site. It just costs quite a lot of money. The ticket prices are also okay-ish. I mean, everything is expensive nowadays.
$10-20, something like that.
Yeah,
to
to be honest, I don't know. So maybe I'm speaking about something I don't know anything about. But I think it's like approximately 15-20 euros. Still a lot of money, and but you get good value for it. And I mean, most of the lineups are pretty packed with a lot of cool artists. And in that respect, it's pretty amazing and unique.
I think what people might mean with those fees is that these days, what you didn't have back then and you do have now. Yesterday I was in Amsterdam as well, and I saw Strafwerk, you know, the festival. Strafwerk ADE. Like all the festivals are kind of playing onto the ADE thing and doing their own stuff. So I guess those parties will be paid because... It's like a party.
Yeah, you have the Awakenings at Gashouder. They do cool showcases with 2 artists, I think. Marlon Hofstad plays one. And
those are just the more commercial parties. And I see a lot of them also not happening this year. That used to be there last year.
What was the other big one where the DJ Mag always...
AMF.
Oh, they're doing this again this year with the DJ Mag.
Again?
But, AMF is still there, at the arena, I think.
Yeah, arena, yeah.
But there's some parties that are missing this year that I used to see. Like I think Spinnin' isn't doing any party. Rave Culture usually does one, but I haven't seen anything about it. But those are also like you have the commercial parties
Steve
like
got cancelled. They also had a cool party.
Yeah. But those are also maybe the parties that are in between commercial and for the fans, like as a showcase.
I guess that's the split. As in, back then when it started, it felt like an industry event. As in, the only thing you really did was having meetings during the day and meeting people like other DJs or like all industry minded, let's say. Even in the evenings, it was like business drinks, you could say, and it was really a business kind of week. But now it kind of turned over to more like a festival vibe. Like where if you look at Amsterdam, most of the students who live in Amsterdam view ADEs as 5 days of partying as a festival. Like we do Carnival here.
Yeah.
That's their version of Carnival. And kind of the mindset shifted as in everyone is going for the parties while it used to be industry.
Yeah, but
It
it
used
still
to be
is.
more
They
of an
have a lot of
industry.
cool panels, a lot of interesting guests, more the business related, the business side, not per se the creatives. I mean, also I got a lot less invitations this year. Could be me, but maybe they were like, "Do we send Ralph an invitation?" Hell no.
Watch the podcast like, nah,
Nah.
it's getting old.
Yeah. You're talking about Jay now. Okay.
I'm getting old, yeah.
And no, but yeah, I think there's less. I mean, also the spinning. I'm missing them. They were also
They
always
were
having
always
a cool
doing
party
huge thing.
in the Amsterdam Toren. Yeah, but still, there are a lot of cool panels with a lot of cool guests. Knowledge-wise, they have a lot to offer, and I think it's still worthwhile to go. And there are still some cool parties to attend. Yeah.
And part of it, yes, there's cool seminars because there's so many. You can't even count them. But there's also some part of it, but maybe that's just the artist in me or something, or just that I'm like a bit bored of it. It's also industry people talking to industry people about where the scene is going. Yeah. And I always think like, well, that part I don't agree with, because I think the music and the creators decide kind of where it's going. And then if it's always funny to me that they are always analyzing everything and this is where it's going to go next year. And guys, no one knows. We don't know. There's some artist that's gonna rise in the next year, and it's like, holy shit.
But what they say will not happen.
Yeah, exactly.
So then it's also worthwhile to go. But then again, maybe it's the commercial part that took over of ADE. It used to be a lot of shitty venues, actually, like just bars where they held cool parties with insane DJs. You couldn't even believe that, okay, they're playing here now for a venue of 300 people.
Yeah, shitty
What's
sound.
up with this? No production whatsoever. That actually was the charm of it. And that kind of stopped. Yeah, shitty sound.
Don't you have like any shows, like smaller shows like that this year?
Yeah.
So it still happens.
Yeah, for sure. Last year as well.
But is it mostly labels or?
No, it's our artists' own events. Labels don't. Yeah, labels do it less and less, like we see this year.
I also heard a lot of people that there's less demo drops and stuff. They're used. I'm not sure.
Spinning used to do one, but Spinning is absent.
Like the harder styles. What was the label called?
But to be honest, artists also with their own labels, they were always listening to the demos. Then they had those days.
Yeah.
I heard it from a lot of clients, like they were missing out on a lot of the names on the demo drops. Like that was one of the big reasons why they came, so that they could have an option or a chance to get their music heard.
Yep.
And all those companies are absent.
I think it's just part of the trend where it used to be one scene, and now it's like way more of an industry and like way more splintered. So I feel like that's going on a little bit as well.
Have you guys ever been to IMS in Ibiza?
No.
Because I haven't been there as well, but I heard that is like very industry minded.
It is. Yeah, my manager always goes there.
So
and that's
better weather.
October in Amsterdam. Like, who thought of that?
Reason to go.
With respect to whoever made ADE big, but it's October in Amsterdam.
Well, we've had years
not
where
the best
you
month.
froze your balls off. And we've had years where the sunshine. It
but
was
mostly rain.
Mostly rain and shitty weather.
Yeah.
That's
and
true.
Ubers are not available ever because it's so busy. And it's not.
I always rented a bike and just went everywhere.
Soaking wet, you would arrive.
Yeah, well, so I'm Dutch, so I don't mind.
I'm used to it. Yeah. But what could be the best reason for an aspiring artist from abroad who decided to go to Amsterdam this year and to go to ADE? Like, what's the reason why you should go? What's the main thing you're gonna get from it?
Still the same.
Yeah.
Just attend the parties, meet with people who also go. There are a lot of like-minded people, and and also the artists who play the venues. Most of the venues are still small. There are maybe less venues are played now, but everybody's really approachable on ADE, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest things. As in, you just see everyone walking on the street. You can literally tap their shoulder and say, "Hey, can I have a talk for a minute or whatever?"
Mostly to meet like-minded people, because if you go to an event where there is a demo drop, yes, it's interesting to get feedback from Laidback Luke or whoever. That's an industry name. But what's way more interesting is all the guys that are standing in line, that all are making music and traveled there. Those are the dedicated guys that you want to surround yourself with.
I will do a demo drop next year.
A demo drop?
Or just listening to demos.
The artist coaching demo drop.
Oh, you'll sit down next year?
Yeah, why not? Yeah, actually, but it's... Well, now you're talking about it. If nobody does it, I mean, that's also part of the charm.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
And I do think, especially now that we've done the event, I think this is the 4th time, the strongest thing of it is that you get to know like-minded people. Because over the past years, I've seen a lot of people connecting who are still friends, or however you want to call it, but they're connected and still have a relationship. They might go to ADE together this year, while they met 4 years ago.
Yep.
And if I look at this year, most of the tickets that we sold, I've never heard of the names. Like, normally when I see the ticket sales, I'm like, I know this guy, or is a client, or, you know, like, I know most of them.
Josh, is he there?
Yeah.
Dude, Josh is making waves. I don't know if he said something between, but he's making good music, and I actually also like that.
I like that. We talk about him every episode.
Yeah,
he's always asking questions.
Josh, if you're listening,
and then you always say this. I love it.
No, but
I love it. This is tradition.
It's just scarce that people are making real big steps, and
it is really cool to see, for sure.
There are not so many people that can make it, and Josh is one of those guys. He could maybe make it. Yeah, he has a chance. So
definitely
keep on rocking,
he
Josh.
Did some,
and he has the name Josh Letizier.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, but he's coming. And there's a lot of other people from the community coming. Names that I saw from the Discord. I was like, oh, I remember the name from the Discord. I've never met them, but I see the username. So I'm curious to see how that goes this year. But there's, I guess, 30, 35 people this year. So
nice.
Might be...
hey, and don't underestimate meeting people that can also maybe... let's call it criticize you or just talk about music. It's worth so much having somebody to spar with, to ask them the question, is what I made here something cool or is it just shit? Yeah. That's so valuable because most of the times you just don't know.
I actually heard an interesting theory last week about how someone picked a book, as in if he was looking for a book. Most people go to Amazon and go look for the testimonials, or how do you call it? Like
the top 10 or the...
but like what people think of it, their opinions.
Reviews.
You go out and look for the reviews, and then you read like the top reviews, right? Like
I always read the bad ones.
That's what he mentioned. Like he said, like I'm always interested in the top bad ones because I'm not interested in what sells a book because it's probably good if it's in the top 10. But I'm interested in what people didn't like about it because that's normally the truth. As in, if it really sucks and people take time to actually write it down, that's the real truth. So that's how he kind of makes the decision on, is it worth my time, yes or no? And I thought that was an interesting thought experiment to kind of take it into life and think about other ways how you can look at negative stuff. Same with music, like. You don't want to surround yourself with people who are yes nodders and say like, oh, this is great, you should keep going. But you want to surround yourself with people who motivate you, but are also critical.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's usually a lot of times misinterpreted then that people say you need people around you with good vibes, who bring you a good vibe. It's usually people then think, oh, I get a good feeling of this person, or
Yeah.
that's what you need. No, that's not what you need. You need to be someone that kind of makes you whole, like completes you, or like brings to the table what you don't. Like
True.
whole. I said whole.
No, I was just thinking of something.
Dude.
I was just thinking of something else. No, that's not it. That's not it. I was like the song of what's the girl group name? Blah Blah Kitties.
You can make me
Me
whole.
Like,
again.
that one popped up. I don't know why.
Says something about you.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, you need to. This is a cool thing to think about. That someone said this to me once when you had a talk with someone, and then you leave their house or you hang up. Does the world seem bigger or smaller, despite of what you talked about? But that's how you can really feel like, hey, with this person, I kind of go into this negative.
Yeah.
Everything becomes narrow, and with people where you're like your friends, or you usually get like, all these ideas or
inspiration.
just inspiration, and it can still
also
be
really be personal, because criticism is not always perceived as something good.
No,
for instance, if
but that's what I mean.
my wife at
that's
home always says to me, "Oh, you look good, honey," but I would be dressed as a clown, that wouldn't help me.
No, but that's what I mean. It's like
real life, but
it's important that they are still there for the negative stuff or the criticism, and then
be real.
What I heard a lot from people is that's what they like about Dutch people. Like they are straight in their opinion. As in they have the truth on their tongue, right? It's like we just say what we think, most of the people at least. And that's what most people from other countries like about Dutch people, because it's an unsalted opinion.
But they also say it's the tone that makes the music. You gotta be a little bit strategic about, I have some criticism.
Yeah.
How am I gonna bring it? And then you can say bring it positively, because you can also just go like a shredder.
And you need to think about, is it worth the discussion or whatever
and in music
to bring criticism.
And it's always hard to, because it's an opinion in music.
Yeah.
It's not, I mean, it's
that depends,
always
right? As in you can have critical feedback as like mixing wise, mastering wise, like
but
does
still, how do you want it to sound? I mean,
that's true.
Today Marlon came into my studio and he asked me, hey, do you still use Vengeance samples? I said, well, since last year quite a lot, because we sometimes want stuff to sound like retro, want the retro vibes.
Like back then.
And then he said, yeah, because I read on this producer topic on Twitter that it's kind of a thing now. I said, yeah, of course, because retro is in. And then you're gonna go to the old sounding. I mean, Vengeance. I use them all, 1 to 5 club sounds, and but then you want that retro sound in there, which sounds just old, but somebody could also perceive it as sounding bad. So it's really up to the person, like, how do you want it to sound? It doesn't have to be polished all the time. So that also, it's always, like, music is always subjective. So take into account when somebody says something about your production, it's their opinion, and that's fine. You take it into account and do something with it, or not. Also fine.
Yeah. It's also the difficult thing as an artist, that subjective thing, because sometimes you really made something and you feel that this is the best thing ever, and then people just don't like it, and that can sometimes like hurt, like.
But I think that's the hardest part of being an artist. It's embracing your authenticity, as in embracing, this is what I like, like sound wise, sample wise, synths wise, like this is what I like to do, and then kind of resist all the other opinions that will come along the way. Your mothers, your brothers, like your friends, everybody will tell you what they think.
Well,
of
it's
your
like
song.
It's a bit of a combination of that, but also you need that criticism, and you need to
but that's
you
the
need
balance.
to figure out a way to navigate that if you want to be in this world, to navigate also the criticism.
It's actually really important, because for instance, we have this track of a famous track, and we incorporated there, let's call it the Dido sound, that pluck. But we were then thinking about, we don't want it to sound like the Dido track, but let's change that synth. Then we were browsing through all these presets and whatsoever. But then we were thinking about, okay, so we're not in the music business whatsoever. We're just a normal listener. Will we actually think of this being different as the Dido sound? No. It can be like a saw or like this distorted sine or a square. For somebody, just a regular listener, it will all sound the same. Yeah. They don't care.
They listen to the melody overall.
Yeah, so, and that's something you have to take into account. Who's actually listening? Like, who are you doing the work for? On the other hand, I gotta say, as also to a discussion we had this week about managers listening to tracks. Sometimes you can hear when somebody has been lazy on a production. You can just hear all the transfer, everything is just too straightforward, it's just simple, and one can tell. It makes it less special. Managers, man, the suits, fuck the suits. They don't hear. And they're not willing to invest to make it more special. But that's where they go wrong, especially nowadays. Like 10 years ago, your track could be a little bit shitty, but the world has evolved. It has to be, I mean, there's always exemptions, but your track has to be on par with the best there is, and in all aspects. But yeah, suits.
Did you see that melodramatic from the community made a track from it? It's called "Fuck the Suits."
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I haven't. No.
Yeah, he created a track, and he I think he had a girl singing a vocal. He wrote a vocal about it.
Yeah,
inspired on what you said.
That's amazing.
He had a girl singing it, and now he made a song. So I'll send it to you.
Send it. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, he sent it to me.
I can give him a nice sample again. Everybody quiet. Fuck the suits. Sample it.
There you go. High quality. No, but it's fun to see that that post as well resonated with a lot of people, and that's probably because everyone thinks the same. As in,
yeah, it's one of those things where the suits think they decide, but the crowd and the artist decide. Which is also another thing. As a producer, because I thought for years, like, no, I make what I like, and I just hope it resonates with the people, which I still do. But I also realized, like, eventually you really want, as a DJ, that the crowd likes it. That's especially with DJing itself, you play so that the crowd goes dancing. So you're always a bit, that subjectiveness, you do need that in your career as a DJ.
It's not fun to play in an empty room.
Exactly. And I think that's, you can do 100% your own thing, but if no one listens to it, then are you really an artist? You know, that's always the thing. That's the question.
That's a deep question because,
dude, we already had a few wines, by the way. So let's go.
2 bottles. Does anyone want, by the way?
Later on, after the episode. I have some water.
After the episode.
But
otherwise you're getting too drunk, man.
No, but that's a really deep question. As in, there's so many different opinions on what is an artist and when are you an artist. And some people are artists just to create, have all their thoughts and emotions and stuff into something. And some people want to see other people dance on it or make other people happy. And if that element's not there, it's not enough for them to stay creative. But there's also people making art in their basement, and that's okay, you know, like they'll never sell it, they'll never do something with it. It's just to create the process of creation.
But I think something in them always wants like recognition.
That's the question. Like,
part of humans, I think, is you want some recognition. Is what I think eventually.
Well, we all want to be
it's a part ego, so you can definitely
but for everybody who has like this skill or something they can do like properly, at some point you want to show it to somebody. Yep. Yeah, I think that's human nature.
Yeah.
You're not really not. I don't think we're all like human beings and expressive. We don't do a lot of things really for ourselves. We do it in relation to others.
Yeah. Selfless or so, that's what they call it, right? Like self.
There's no selfless good deed. And that's something different. That's from Friends.
No, but that's also doing like this. Like, you don't make like art just solely for yourself. Like,
nah, it's always an expression of who you are. And okay, you can say like, fuck all the opinions. Yeah. And but still, we're not made of wood.
It's also a thing of if you
stone.
like it yourself. This is also what I heard, and I think it's a cool take. If you like what you're making, then there must be other people in the world that also will like it.
Yeah.
So then, there's even if it's only 10 people, you can still share with someone that will like it.
And actually, that makes it also really scary to show it to people, because it's actually really personal. It's something that you like, that drives you, and then you have to show it to other people, and what will they say? Or maybe you are a weird guy or girl, you just don't know.
But this is the reason why most artists don't dare to release their music, because they're so afraid of what other people will think of their music.
And it always hurts. Like a no from a label also always hurts. You just always get that like little bit of like, ooh.
You do get used to it after. You kind of get numb to it.
Well, not numb, but you kind of know it will pass. You know? I say that now also with my second kid. It's like with your first kid, you if your kid
in the photo,
photo up,
best photo ever.
With your first kid,
are you going to post it?
Not yet. When the episode is online.
Okay. With your first kid, if your kid's crying and you don't know what to do, you don't know it's gonna.
Close the door.
You don't know it's gonna but you don't know it's gonna pass. You know logically, but you just feel like it's never gonna pass. With your second kid, I've now experienced that if she's crying, I feel like this will at some point pass, which is something you can only learn through experience.
Yeah.
But that's also with rejections from labels. The first time you get rejected, it just hurts. You're like, I'll never be good again. Yeah. The second time you still get that kind of feeling, but you know, like you feel also like, now in a day I'll already feel better, and you don't take it personally or something. So it's like that. It's just with experience.
Yeah. So you kind of get, it's kind of numb, but it doesn't hit you that hard.
Yeah.
Is it a quote from? Is it Lord of the Rings or Star Wars? This too shall pass. Star Wars, right?
You shall not pass is from Lord of the Rings.
This too shall pass.
It's just a very generic.
I thought it was from a movie.
It's from a movie, but not Lord of the Rings. You can.
I have my laptop here.
I never watched Star Wars, so.
Sounds more like Mean Girls, something like that. Mrs. Doubtfire.
Hey, but this too shall pass is a cool live spreuk.
Like
it's a cool. Do we actually have questions?
Yes.
Yeah.
Let me.
Bam.
Awesome.
Hey, if nobody's gonna eat this,
you should.
I will.
More. Wait.
Nee. I don't want more. Please, not. I'm gonna eat it.
I'll have one little piece.
No, man.
Little piece. Oh, that's whoa.
I hate you, dude.
Let's see.
Just a little block.
This is my guilty pleasure.
These things are these from the famous supermarket?
Yeah, the blue one.
They have a lot of calories, these things.
And this is the triple chocolate one.
They have you seen the calories on these things?
I don't watch calories.
Well, a lot.
Probably like 500 or something.
Yeah, I think more, but could be 500.
Well, take it away.
Which date is it? It's the 10th. This one is... here we go. Follow-up question for the breakdown question of last week. He actually used an emoticon from the server. That's nice. How does Ralph, for example, select the sounds for a breakdown in a genre he normally doesn't produce? Does he listen to the tracks that in that genre and just take those elements and arrange them in a similar way as a reference?
Well, could be. It's a good thing, but yeah. You always have some kind of an idea where to go, and that's your starting point. And then you're gonna just browse through sounds, whether it's Serum or Nexus. Those are my most common VSTs. And then you run into something, and it usually then takes a little bit of a different direction. But yeah, it really depends on what you're making. But yeah. If it's like a little bit open format that could take all the directions, and yeah, But nowadays, I'm always most of the time thinking of like, okay, I want it to sound like this, and we actually talked about the retro sounding stuff. Yeah, a lot of our tracks have these kind of a retro sound, and especially for breakdowns, I'm having a hard time to do cool breakdowns, and I actually like the old sounds, so it gives me kind of a reference to work towards. Yeah, but it's actually a good one. Yeah.
Also, do you think it's fine to remake or take elements from a reference track's breakdown I really like and just arrange it and modify it to my own preference and structure?
Yeah, why not? If it works, it works.
Fine to remake.
So from an online tutorial or something, or from a remake?
I don't sample. I mean, you gotta.
If you remake a track and then you use the same elements.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, why
Actually,
not?
that's a really good learning school also.
I remember in
copy.
2009. In 2009, I was watching the DJ booth, and they interviewed. It's still on YouTube.
That's such a funny
It's
one.
still on YouTube. Ralph looks exactly the same there, believe it or not. And he already said like that's what he did. He would remake a lot of songs he thought were cool, and that way you learn so much as well.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you can always use those sounds. In fact, I have the track of mine, Wake Up, and I was like looking for a lead sound that kind of sounded like Showtek. That's how that track started. I was just like messing around with a sound. And then I like just kept on adding sound. It's actually became a famous YouTube video of me like not knowing at all anything about mixing, supposedly.
And did you actually make the wizard lead there?
No, that's way Wizard Lead was way before. But the sound turned out to be same guy.
Marlon
The
didn't
sound-
age at all.
Well, same. You guys look the same.
yeah.
It could be like last week. Crazy. But the sound,
Few gray hairs though.
the sound of Wake Up, the lead sound, never sounded really like Showtek. But because I went in that direction, and I came up with something else, which was way cooler for the track I was working on.
I
So-
always like to have a reference track and just listen to and then you go back to that reference track. Don't do too much, but then you hear back and forth your own track and the reference track, and you think, okay, I need these frequencies. Those are I'm missing those, and then you get to this direction like, okay, well, if I do this, then it can be something a little bit different, but also really cool. At some point, you will encounter something that's cool. Yeah. And then it doesn't have to be the thing that we're looking for. Or it can be. Actually, it doesn't matter. But big fan of recreating stuff.
That was one of
Helps a
the
lot.
things I learned at the Rock Academy back then. Like I think it was the first assignment of production school, which was like...
Are you not playing the 10 or 15 year anniversary or something? Firebeats is playing there.
Yeah, but they finished it. I've been there for like 9 months.
Okay.
And that's it. So, no, they probably won't invite me. I wasn't their promotional material, I think. 15 years?
Yeah,
it could be.
10, 15, I don't know.
Yeah, it could be because I
Some
was...
jubileum. So
I was 21-ish, I guess, so that's 15 years ago. And I was the third year because Hardway was the first year. Second year was Firebeats, and I was the third year.
Hardwell didn't finish it either.
No, but he was the first, together with Frank Risado and like a couple of other guys. They were the first batch of music production school.
Yep.
And then
funny how groups of DJs always manage to break through.
Yeah,
I know.
talent
I am
groups.
thinking now why this is.
because they found each other and help each other.
That, but also what happens is you see one of your friends break through, and you're like, hey, now I can do it too.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like in sports when someone breaks a record that couldn't be done, like the mile in under a minute or something. There's some kind of and then
at some point
someone does
more
it,
people,
and then people can all around the world do it.
Like
More people.
Something to look up to or something to hold on to.
You can see that it's possible. So then you're like, and because it's like in those, because you always hear these kind of groups of friends.
Yeah.
You, Frankie, Hardwell, all knew each other. Firebeats.
Yeah.
You all became DJs.
Yeah. Danik.
Yeah.
And I was my class. I was with Mighty Fools. Jelle, who's now
yeah.
A&R
yeah.
at Reveal, I guess.
Yeah.
So there was this pool, and then
Jelle do Hell Deep.
Jelle.
Maybe. He's now at Revealed.
He's
Oh,
now
yeah,
A&R
he is.
Revealed, right?
Oh.
I think so.
I don't know. I thought Yiva was.
Yiva is A&R, but what does Jelle does?
Yiva went to... Didn't Yiva go to Hexagon?
No, he's at Revealed now. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But I do think that what you mentioned is that's one of the powers of Dutch DJs is because the Netherlands is so small.
Oh, no, that's Jordi. Never mind.
Which Jordi?
Jordi with a Y.
Yeah, but which one?
That's Jordi with a Y.
Jordi with Y.
Oh, that's the name.
Jordi from Zero Cool. From Moti's label. But I was just... Yiva, Jordi, you know, all with a Y. And I'm thinking, why are you mentioning this?
Why? Why?
I do think that's one of the powers of being a Dutch DJ is that we're so close to each other. And what you also hear from other DJs from abroad is that we help each other. As in, not like literally, but it's not like not all of us actually, but like we tend to help each other and drag along each other. If you look at Hardwell, like he dragged along a lot of Dutch DJs onto his label. He helped me.
Definitely.
And if you look at what I hear from other people from other countries, like it's all like, no, this is mine, it is mine.
There are those. I mean,
protective.
Hardwell's always really helpful. He sometimes masters some of our tracks. He's gonna play.
Yeah, but he does a lot of mastering for Revealed as well.
Yeah. I mean, he has a master chain. Everybody knows. I learned a lot.
You still have to share it.
I did.
Oh, did you?
Man, I shared that picture so many times. Just follow us on Instagram.com/Bassjackers.
No, TikTok.
Yeah, well, TikTok, I don't share the productional shit. Oh. People don't like that over there. That's just where we showcase our upcoming tracks. They're really cool. And follow us on TikTok.com.
Check it out.
No, but no, he's really TikTok.
It's the Swedish version.
But he's always really helpful, and there are a few more that are always, and it really helps. But like I said before, it's so helpful that people just be real to you and talk to you about your music and vice versa.
Yep,
true.
Don't underestimate that.
And just to see someone you know succeed in something, and you're like, hey,
succeed.
I can do that. Succeed, yeah. Suck.
Nice.
Sucky seed. No, I think that's true. That's one of the, like, I didn't have too much from Rock Academy, as in I had a good time, but didn't bring me that much value, to be honest.
But still, lately, do people attend that school and be famous?
It's getting crazier and crazier every year. If you look at Herman Brood Academy,
is it positive? Or
how many applications they get on a year, it's crazy.
But does it work? Because who's from there still, like, recent?
I must say, in their advantage, the schools have developed a lot over the years. As in, back in the days when I was there, which is 15 years ago, it was really, really different. And it was, a lot of things didn't work out the way they should. But now they managed to really set up a nice school. They also have like mental aspects involved in it, and it's a very broad thing. But still, what I always wonder is, you're going to school to become an artist, as in,
that's you can.
It's
learn
weird.
that.
It's not like yes, you can learn skills. I get that, but.
I like you also have the Dutch dance minor by Fontis also in Tilburg, and
I've also been part of that.
They more do the things that go around the whole
but that's
thing.
Exactly, like more industry minded. So what else is there to do backstage, you could say, like festivals, management, bookings, all those things.
Yeah.
But I do think that a school like that, if you are very young and if you do have to follow a certain school, and if you have the dream to become an artist, they will kind of get you ready on a lot of aspects.
Yeah, it's kind of like the
industry.
If you make sure that you have your own vision still and don't rely on that school, it's like when you sign to a big label or publisher, nothing's gonna magically happen, but there are more connections available. But you still need to have this own vision of how you're gonna get there.
You have some handhelds, you have some help next to you, because the teachers are actually like professional
failed artists.
It's
a joke, guys. Don't worry.
No, it's a joke. I mean, we had one here, Mark Otten.
Yeah,
but he's really good.
He runs his own
of course.
production coaching.
Yeah.
No, he's really good.
I actually get a lot of, because a few of my clients are also clients of him. I get a lot of positive stuff from that. Like a lot of people.
No, I like also his content and read quite
Have you
a lot.
ever met him?
Only online.
It's so weird.
Which counts.
It counts, but he's a great guy. Like
yeah, me like too.
Yeah, but he was one of the guys at Rock Academy back then. Not now anymore, I guess. So, but yeah, it's. I do think it's a great place if you're starting out and if you want to get like a full steam course of what is there to do. Could be a good place to start. It's not cheap though. Like in back then, I had to pay an extra 2,000 euros a year above of the regular.
No, yeah.
And you have to get a MacBook, and so it's pretty
MacBook,
yeah, back then already.
No
like
FL Studio.
Back then it was only Logic, and I was doing Cubase. That was the reason why I went to Logic, because I was doing Cubase and I was happy with it. But then I went to.
That's where it went wrong.
Kind of. Well, yeah. Well,
No.
I must.
I
say,
mean, it all works and it's all fine, but
yeah, but I must say, Cubase always, in some sort of way, it gave me a lot more balls in the sound. Like it sounded
balls in the sound.
Logic always sounded very fragile.
Welcome to Joey's demo drop.
Yeah.
Joey,
I like this track. It has balls in the
balls in the
sound.
sound.
If you want to work with a different software
DAW.
here in the school, in school,
DAW.
it's fine, but you have to come with an actual proposal and like an actual clarification as to why. You were like, it just gives me more balls in the sound, man.
No, but it's really it took me. I think it took me about a year, maybe 2 years, to get back to my sound that I had in Cubase and to get that into Logic, because somehow all the sounds through Logic sounded thinner, and I never really got why. It's just a different engine, I guess. But in Cubase, it all sounded a lot more like rough and
Balls in the sound.
Yeah, exactly. Like we need shirts. Balls in sound.
Yeah,
Balls and sound.
and fuck the suit.
And fuck the suit. We can start a merchandise line. But actually, I had a 1-2 year transitional period of where my sound was. I really had to rediscover everything because I had to change because of the Rock Academy.
That's not a good thing.
No, it's not a good
it's
thing
always
at all.
weird to have people. I also don't see the point of an art academy, but there probably is. But it just feels weird that somebody that does something from a passion that there's like schooling around that like gives them more of a way to walk through, whereas you don't need a way, you need to be open.
I think I'm gonna think about this in a golf terms.
Oh man,
we almost
So
made it a full episode without golf.
So if you're into golf, that one listener that's also into golf. Now in your golf swing, it's like everybody has their own swing because everybody is slightly different.
What's your week?
And everybody works just differently.
Yeah.
So you can learn from YouTube, like this is how you have to move.
A lot.
But that doesn't always work. What works way better is if you understand why a good golf swing is a good golf swing, and that there's multiple ways to get there. And I think that's what an art academy or a teacher should learn, like, why does this sound good? And not per se because you clicked that and that button in Logic, but because that's what if you do that to a bass line, it becomes this. And that's more like the underlying
Now I
thing.
totally understand, since you like took the golf
No, but
metaphor.
like if you learn golf from YouTube and it's like, oh, I need to move my shoulders like this.
No, wait,
But
it's
I need
also
to
when you learn music
understand
through
how to
YouTube.
deliver. I need to understand how to deliver the club to the
No,
ball.
but it's like with
instead of
sign-
like the exact.
No, but
movement.
it's also the same with Signed by
Balls to the balls.
Bassjackers. Like, then also got people like, hey, I did every knob like you, but that's not the point.
Exactly.
I'm just showing my insights and make it your own. I'm just telling you why I did that. But that there's like a million ways. But it's just one means of getting somewhere.
Yeah, but
Don't exactly copy it. That just doesn't make sense.
no, but I do think that that's where a school comes in handy, as in you have all of the resources at your hands, at your fingertips, and we are kind of self-made producers we just dove in and trial and error. Let's say we made a lot of
School
mistakes.
of life.
Yeah, and that's a way. But I do think that having the right people around you could save you a lot of time and
That's true.
prevent yourself from making those dumb mistakes that we might have made.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So it's like a turbo on your growth. But what I still don't understand is when you finally done and you get like a degree of I'm an official artist now. Like that still doesn't
that
make
doesn't
sense.
feel
Like,
right.
Yeah,
No.
it's weird to me.
Yeah, and it you need to be careful with who you listen to, because sometimes watching even certain tutorials can block your creativity, because you're like, just now I need to watch my bass like this, or I need to watch. It's everything. Take information in, but don't take anything as a set rule.
This is actually.
But that's also with school, because if you're
Yeah.
intimidated by the teacher, it can be like, but he's this big producer.
Yeah.
But still, you don't have to listen to all the exact things they do.
Yeah, that's a very good point. As in, actually talked about this last week with one of the clients, and I had this as well at the Rock Academy during that time, because I learned so much, not necessarily production-wise, but music theory-wise. Like I couldn't read notes before, and now I learned how to play piano and read notes, and that was really great for me for development. But all that knowledge blocked me crazy. As in, like, I couldn't go into the studio without thinking inside of the box, like, I should stick with this because otherwise it's not okay. Like I was not thinking freely anymore. It's like, I need to stick within these tone letters because otherwise it doesn't match, and you can't go from minor into major, and like all these things started to play around. While normally I just sat down and I was like, this sounds nice. Let's use that. Not thinking about
totally true.
So all that knowledge blocked me, and that's something to be aware of as
I
well.
always drew it in, still do. Like you have the piano roll, and then you go with the okay. And then, to be honest, I don't know the name of the chords or whatsoever.
No, exactly.
And
Still
then
don't.
somebody talks to me, "Oh, cool, you did some tension." Yeah, exactly. I did.
That always bothers me a little bit. There's like, and it's amazing, but also it bothers me. There's this YouTube account, and there's more like this. They like analyze what like Hans Zimmer did, or what the Nintendo music, which is crazy.
Man, Nintendo music.
Nintendo music is crazy complex.
Yeah.
But it always annoys me a little
Mario
bit.
theme songs. Fuck.
That they also explain it like, and then he went into the and I always feel like they don't
Like the Bowser
fully
Castle
understand
music.
how some composers work, because even though
That must be like go from feel. Can be different, man. It's
but it's
insane.
like there must be composers that, yes, they know exactly what they're doing, but there's a lot of composers that just feel and they know what works, but they're not analyzing like, here we go into the 16th triple because that's where the they just kind of feel where they
I like how a lot of the people who do scores for movies, they look at a scene and then they define the tempo and they play like, okay, this is a little bit scary, these tones, and then they just sit and it goes faster, and they just see and then feel, and that's where it starts. And then they get like a melody line just on the piano, and then they fill in. Then it gets more like science, like, okay, now how are we going to do this? What kind of instrument are we going to use?
And I still think in hindsight, it always seems complexer than it really is. I think it must be...
Sometimes in hindsight just feels easier to be
true,
honest.
but I think sometimes, like, if you write a melody and then in hindsight you can go back and overanalyze it. Yeah. And that just annoys me about those YouTube accounts. It's like not all composers have that in mind when they do that. It's more about catching the feel of something, and that if you're talented like Hans Zimmer, you just have that like as a like a
but
gift,
in the end,
like you just feel all those changes. And
but in the end, that's the whole point of music, right? Like as a DJ as well, you're kind of bringing a sort of energy to. You're reading the energy from the room, but you're also you're steering the energy as in where you want it to go. Actually, last week was a very nice reminder for me. I went to, as I said, to Black Coffee in Ahoy in Rotterdam. Black Coffee has always been one of my favorites, and now he played in the Netherlands, so I was like, let's go there. And dude, honestly, he is a very good DJ. Like, there was a few guys playing that night. Nice sets, nothing to say about it, but there's a difference between Black Coffee and them. And you can't really put it into words, but something is changing. Like, something in the room is changing, and
the
it's
volume and the production value.
The volume.
No,
that
I mean that's always the case when you go to a certain artist. The production, the volumes, they will go up. But Black Coffee is an amazing DJ, and I get it. And also, you go in anticipation for him, and then it's just magical.
I think for me, as in, I can see those things apart. As in, yes, I appreciate him. Some sort of a fanboy, you could say, but I think I can see those things separately. You could just hear something change in the music, as in there is just something in the tracks that he plays and how he plays it and how he uses the FXs and stuff, how he builds a certain energy within the room.
Definitely,
and that's what I mean. As
and
in,
the room has to also work with that. It's like
Sure.
a whole a good DJ, I think, doesn't only like do good from him. No, he catches the whole vibe and he like orchestrates that.
Because there was a moment in the set where I was like
people orchestrators.
Yeah.
People orchestrate. Oh,
wow.
People energy.
That's going on a shirt, by the way. Kind of sucks.
We're people orchestrator.
Well,
what do you do for a living? I'm a people orchestrator.
Yeah. okay.
Oh, you mean
you work for the government?
DJ? No. In traffic, those guys with the yellow suits.
That's actually a good one. Yeah.
An energy orchestrator.
Yeah.
No, but there was a moment.
Are there still questions, by the way? Because we got 56 minutes. Damn.
This is the extra long bonus episode.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, in the Discord, that's it. And we're not live, so that's it.
No live questions.
Yeah. Well, then we can then it's an hour.
But
there was
Are there any artists that you guys that have come up really or?
You know this guy Fred again?
Have you checked that a live set of him on the roof? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I saw snippets of it.
He's playing on one.
People are just
CDJ.
chilling around him.
Yeah, it's just with his friends, they're chilling, and he's playing on one CDJ.
I saw a Tiny Desk concert of 2 Argentinian artists.
I think I saw.
I saw only parts of it, but I have to check. But it captured me. Every time I see it, I have to watch.
Kind of music, right?
Yeah, but really cool. Yeah. It's I don't know what it is. At first thought, who are these weird looking guys, because they look like they all have these weird hats on and
okay.
But now I've seen them more and more, and I'm like, they're really good, and their band that's playing with them is really good.
I've seen the clip,
I don't know
the
name, but I don't even know how to pronounce it if I find them. But they're from Argentina. Argentina.
You know, it's a country.
That's Dutch, eh? They're from Argentina, eh? But no, that's really cool. So
I was working out in the gym and I heard Schothagen.
Wow, commercial guys.
They're breaking through.
Yeah,
it's insane.
What do they play in the gym? Is it a playlist or?
Yeah, they don't have this regular playlist, but they were definitely more techno minded. Sounded more like the techno bunker playlist or something. I don't know if they play Spotify. I don't think it's even allowed. Actually, I'm not sure.
Oh.
Although it's like this.
You can if you pay
where
Buma.
My gym is more for mixed martial arts, and I don't think they really play by the rules music wise. I don't think Buma can collect there.
They're gonna go in hey, you need to pay us money. What now?
Oh,
what now?
You and what army?
Come and get it.
Yeah. We'll get an Ippon or 2. And no, but I was really pleased. I was benching 120 kilos. And then Schothagen came up, and then I made my full set, 12 pieces.
I usually listen to podcasts when I'm in the gym,
Oh,
but then
no.
sometimes I'm so no, I can't.
I
For
never
this
have
set,
my ears in.
For this set, I need some techno or something, and then it really helps.
It helps.
What I do notice, but that's been a couple of years ago, is that music really impacts my mood. As in,
Wow.
Yeah.
Man,
Took me 10 years. Took me 10 years. But I can steer my mood as in...
You're an artist coach?
Whenever I wake up, and if I'm kind of cranky or whatever, I can listen to like...
That's the thing with music.
I know.
Yeah.
But I never used it in that way.
Man.
I never used it as like, oh, this could be like, I should listen to this
Jay,
now.
we need to reassess this guy we're doing a podcast with.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's what makes music so beautiful. It doesn't matter where you come from, even if it's Argentina. Or Sweden, China, whatsoever. We all are touched by all the same tones, and that emotion just becomes universal.
Dude.
And that's the great part about it.
I
when you have a
cried
tough
from
day,
the Lion King music. When I just had my second kid, I cried. Crazy. But listen to the Lion Kid. There's this guy...
All Disney videos.
Yeah. There's this guy on TikTok who like... jokes around like he's like the music director, and then it's like, oh, this goes way too hard, but then he's like, yeah, Hans, what do you got for the... It's just a kids movie, man. It is way too much. And then you hear like the whole... But the Lion King, amazing music.
Oh, yeah.
And it really changed my mood. And then I realized music can change your mood.
wow.
Also, Eggboy is
How's Eggboy going, by the way? How's the reels?
Yeah, good. I think my last EP, all my tracks went viral on Instagram Reels.
Insane.
So they all have like at least 10k reels that it used, and some of them
Instagram
120.
And like TikTok?
TikTok not so much. There's a few hundred. And Spotify is also just well, for that EP, I mean, it's like a couple 10,000, like 30,000 or something, which is
streams.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's not bad for what it how many promo we did, like not much at all. Hey guys, listen, Eggboy.
I use them for reels.
Nice.
Every now and then. If I need like...
it's the perfect reel music. So if you're making reels and you don't know what to put under it, it's EKBOJ. Dude. EKBOJ. Man.
Wow.
And look it up and use it for your reels. You won't be the first one because it's really hot.
Yeah, I should need to start adding like a signature.
Yeah.
Like Eggboy Productions.
Yeah.
Like FS Green.
EKBOG.
FS Green. Jason Rulo.
Oh man. You remember at some point you had these mixtapes and they were DJ guys right. Yeah. Like really loud. Still like sometimes
still have them.
When the Polish workers are working at my house or at some other construction sites.
When they're not stuck in his basement, chained up to the wall.
No, but they also listen to these YouTube sets, all with the Polish DJs, and they still use the same, like DJ Eskimo.
Yeah,
it's really hard.
On SoundCloud, there's also a lot of those hip hop sets where they still yell a lot. Like, we work out in my gym, and they always play these sets. And then always halfway through the song, like, whoa.
Well, you're wide awake then.
And the volume is always way too high in comparison to the song.
They don't like compress it at all.
No. Yeah, DJ problems. That's it for me. I don't know what about you guys, but
I always am a bit sad when we're at the end of the episode.
Yeah. Let's play the song of The Lion King.
Which one do you mean? Like the main?
No, I started crying when just that first music starts. So like first you have that like voice, but then that part after, like when all that that wasn't doing so much. But then after that song that starts then. Yeah, and then I was like, that's so dark, like so deep. No, but like when all the animals come to the thing, and it's just I watched that movie a lot when I was a kid. And then Circle of Life.
And did you watch the remake?
Yeah.
Did you watch the remake or the original Disney?
Original.
Ah man, it's so much better.
It's so good.
It's the same thing with my kids. I always use like the original Disney video.
I did have a
we turned into the Boomer podcast. Okay, everybody who's listening for the music,
check out
this now. Yeah. We tried to watch Beauty and the Beast, and my daughter wasn't that much into
the old version.
And then I realized she's very much into Frozen. She loves Frozen.
Dude.
But then I saw Beauty and the Beast, and I realized like that does look very old. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't look cool anymore. Lion King is still different because it's like
but on the
animals.
other hand, she's two. They still also like Boomba.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I haven't introduced Boomba yet. But Frozen, if you see how good that looks, like how good the characters look, then of course Beauty and the Beast is gonna be boring because it's like it's
But
not.
they're all remastered by now, right? Like
Yeah, but still, like look at Beauty and the Beast. It just looks. Yeah. Especially the beginning. I think what
To
you
be
will
honest,
love is the
Beauty and the
chandelier
Beast was
and,
never the best one.
No.
Beauty and the
Like
Beast.
the funny characters were like teapot and like this eggshell.
I love
thing.
Beauty
I
and
don't
the
know.
Beast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's different in people.
But Lion King, I think, was probably my favorite.
Jungle Book was also
Mhm.
really nice.
Jungle
Never that
Book,
much into
dude.
it.
Mowgli.
I like Jungle
Yeah, me too.
Pocahontas was good, but it was pretty depressing in some
Yeah.
kind of way. But it was a good story. I watched it a few weeks ago. Still a good movie. Like, it's funny if you look at those videos as a parent or as like an older human being, you have such a different view on the
Yeah.
storylines.
They're most of the time pretty brutal.
brutal. Yeah.
pe-
Pretty deep as well.
Persons
like,
die.
pretty
We
Yeah.
once were watching 101 Dalmatians.
Oh yeah.
And like,
The
I just think like, oh, this part is pretty scary, man.
To be
When they
honest,
come,
talking
like,
about this,
shit
I
whipping
actually
dogs.
noticed I didn't really grew up to Disney movies.
no.
Because no, I don't know most of them. I know Bambi.
Oh,
But I
Bambi,
didn't
yeah.
really like
Oh
Bambi.
man, Bambi was also dark.
What
Is
about
Peter
deers?
Pan-
And there's
Is
this
Peter
movie.
Pan from Disney?
Yeah, I think so. The Fox and the Hound, I think, is called in English.
Fox
Frank en
and the
Vrij in Dutch.
Oh no,
It's
I
also
don't
like
know it.
super sad.
No, I was more like a Transformer guy. I liked He-Man a lot.
But that's all.
By the power of Grayskull. Yeah.
Peter Pan is from Disney, yeah. I really like Peter Pan as well.
I knew the movie where the real movie with Robin Williams.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Hook.
yeah.
Rufio.
Hook.
Rufio.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Hook, yeah. I
Yeah,
like that.
that
a lot.
was Aladdin.
John Williams, huh?
Oh,
Great one.
Aladdin, dude!
Aladdin.
I loved Aladdin.
Oh,
yeah.
Aladdin. Yeah, Aladdin in,
The
Aladdin.
guy.
was
Aladdin.
amazing.
They have so many insane titles.
Aladdin
Snow
was
White.
good, man.
Actually, I do like all of the new stuff as well. There's a lot of great new films.
I like Coco a lot.
Coco is
Coco
great.
is good, yeah.
And Inside Out. I'm not sure if you've seen
Actually,
it.
no, I haven't seen it, but we're gonna watch it tomorrow with the kids.
Great.
Yeah.
Like,
I have seen Inside Out 1. There's now a second one.
yeah.
There's also this other one. What I do, well, there's some parts of the new Disney movies that I'm like, they're trying so hard to make it a like learning experience.
Yeah.
You
all
can see this
educational.
in the documentary about Lightyear, the movie, because they talk
Toy
about the
Story.
first Toy Story, and they're like, yeah, we just wanted to give him karate chop hands, and we thought what would be cool. They're all like talking about Toy Story, how it would be cool to bring those toys to life, and then about Lightyear, it's all about and his journey to becoming this.
Yeah.
They're trying to so much to make it such a deep and learning experience where I think the fun is in if something
Toy
is
Story 1 was pretty cool.
yeah, then that was
Very
really cool. But that's what
yeah.
I mean. With Toy Story 1, they really were like, let's make a cool movie.
Yeah.
And then it became really deep and dark
Yeah.
as well. Dark and the second one, like there's a crying moment.
So
in there.
for those who just tuned in, welcome to the
Disney
Disney
yeah,
Good shows,
the
Disney
animated
Good.
movie
Disney
podcast.
Good.
Yeah. Let's
But,
put it here.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun,
to
but
be
we'll
honest,
make a new
movie
podcast.
scores are also pretty cool. Like really cool.
Very complex as well.
Yeah, it's
overall.
just a different beast. I think.
Let's dedicate an episode to, or let a part of an
Well,
episode
imagine
to movie
Hans
scores.
Zimmer or John Williams
Drink
making
XL.
EDM.
When I think
yeah.
about John Williams, I think about Dutch John.
Yeah, help him on his klussen. Help, my husband is a do-it-yourself.
Help my husband.
Oh yeah, well, such a shame they share the same name.
John Williams. And you see like, hey, you know,
Yeah,
my attic, I did fuck up.
But I
The
think
kids
they,
are sleeping
they
in the open,
can't make
roof.
EDM. They can't make EDM. I'm
Probably
pretty
not.
sure
What about
of
Junkie
it.
XL?
Yeah, well, he could make it a little bit. He had a few hits.
Also, this is maybe a major spoiler, maybe even for you guys, but Hans Zimmer, an example, also has a lot of ghost producers.
Yeah, well, he's actually more of sometimes more of an A&R.
Yeah,
than
exactly.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, because they have this big ass building with a lot of studios, and he's like the collecting
That's
all.
how,
Of course, he
they
makes
did,
music and he writes a
Yeah.
lot of the music as well. I mean, he's
That's how they did
But,
the Man of
um,
Steel.
and Inception. Inception is a lot of Junkie XL as well.
That's one of Dutch's finest, Junkie XL.
Yeah, still underrated here.
Very
Do you know, I
underrated.
actually had some contact with Hans Zimmer.
Really?
Oh, look.
Hey Ralph, I heard.
For those
Was
not
that
watching,
Kermit?
It's true.
Yeah, it's Hans Zimmer texting Ralph. It's very real.
I'm raging out in my studio. Complete bunkers. Nice one.
I'm
Anyway.
raging. You should have said I'm raging out in my Zimmer.
In my building. Yep, that's her cue. To anyone coming to ADE next week, looking forward to meet you all. We're looking forward to a nice event. And we will be next week. We might do a double episode next week because we have Wednesday, and then on Friday we could do the live podcast. So double
I'll
episode.
be in Spain the week after.
Wednesday. I can't make it Wednesday.
God damn it! Oh no.
Oh, maybe
Yeah.
I can. Maybe I can.
Okay, we'll see. Anyway, guys, see you next week. And to anyone coming to Amsterdam, see you
Oh, yeah.
next week as well.
Bye-bye.